How's it going, guys? Welcome to the TheBlueShifting and welcome to Forgotten Trace. Now, this is going to be a very interesting one because it's one of my special features I do on my Fridays. If you're here, welcome to the channel. If you're brand new, if you're an old favorite, welcome back, of course. Now, of course, if you don't, whether you know this or not, still good to go over. I know this channel focuses primarily on visual novels, and that means I've got a plethora of things to explore. You probably have already seen that I've covered some of the bigger hits like muv-luv, Steins Gate, and I have plenty of fantastic, high-tier, well-known visual novels I haven't played yet that I'm planning on featuring on the channel. But I always think it's important to make sure we have an eye open to some titles that might not be as well known, but can just be as good as you could imagine. I've found some real gems by making sure I make time for smaller, less known titles such as Seabed, Miniature Garden. There's dozens more fantastic options to look for in the channel, and this is one of those, Forgotten Trace. Now, I only know very, very little about it, but it was recommended to me as something that I might find interesting. And what does it make, like, what is it that's going to be capsulating for it? What is it that I think really is going to be the drive of it? Well, it's a mystery, first of all. So we're going to be, like, uncovering and unraveling some mysteries about love and loss, and somebody's gone missing, or we're looking for something. And apparently there's a little smidgen of some kind of time essence to it. I don't know if that's going to turn out to be something like time travel or a time capsule, or simply the idea about how people's lives can intersect in interesting ways. Like, I don't really know, but I know that it's going to be an attempt to make a complex and engaging narrative. The reviews I've seen have been pretty solid, but I've avoided a lot of it because, again, I like playing my stories blind. I don't want to come into this with any preconceived notions. I don't want to have any story beats ruined for me. I'm going into this without really anything other than that really basic synopsis I got just by, like, getting an email that mentioned this game. But I'm excited because, first thing, the music is bumping. I mean, listen to that. I think music is one of the most important features of a visual novel, and like, obviously it's a tough thing to be able to like get, especially if you're on a budget. So to hear something like this already gives me a lot of like excitement for the future. Of course, this could be the best score of the game, but things like games like Kazuya Sojo, Seabed, their scores were fantastic, even if they weren't super deep. There were usually those games had like 5 or 6 scores or something like that, but they were all just so good for what they were telling. So, since this is the first time loading it up, I got to get some of the configurations set up, so I'm going to go do that real fast, and then we're going to get started, so just give me 1 second. Alright, I think we're all set. Of course, this is being the first episode, I'd love some feedback. I'm going to try and make sure that the audio is balanced, that you can hear everyone's voices, that the music isn't overpowering, because that tends to be the only issue I always have, is that the music can be super loud compared to the voices, and I don't think that works very well, especially if you want to be following the narrative. So give me a heads up if there's any issues you foresee. But I hope you join me for this series. I hope you enjoy it. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you want to be able to speak about it with people, in a place where we can discuss it as we go along with it as a series, there's a Discord link in my description below. But again, I also want to make sure to make a big shout out to Fruitbat Factory. Thank you for this game. They are the publishers and translators of it. They always do a fantastic job. I've been working fairly closely with them for a while. Well, working is a term. Mostly the fact is that they help guide me to interesting series that I might want to consider. I've been working a lot with them directly, as in like we communicate. And they did give this game to me for free as a kind of review copy. So thank you so much to them. Make sure to show them support. And the biggest thing about this is also like, make sure you show support to visual novel developers. Try and make sure if you decide to get this game, I hope you do, because it'd be fun to play it together. And if you do decide to please make sure you get it in a way that helps support the publisher, because it's not just a shilling out or trying to I'm not getting paid for any of this, but it's just this idea that like I love visual novels. I want them to continue making more, and businesses follow where the money goes. And if we take games and don't pay for them, and like never give back to that publisher, they're never going to put that energy into making more games. I want visual novels to become a more potentialized thing, and the thing is they're getting more exciting now. We've got some amazing things happening on the big front with an anime coming up on muv-luv and some more muv-luv like games being translated and sent to different countries. I think it's an exciting step we're going into, so please make sure continue to support developers of visual novels, continue to support people who make the games you love, because it's important for them to know that they can keep doing it and expect it to be successful, because otherwise we're going to kill our own industry that we love so much. So thank you so much for that. Sorry for the ranting, but that's pretty much it. Like, if you want to see more visual novel stuff, like, please stick around. I hope you enjoy, but let's get started, shall we? Alrighty. Oh, that music is so good. Alright, where are we going to start? The wind sang.
その囚われない羽ばたきを慎むように。
Oh boy, oh boy.
父は帰った。その凛としたたくましさを戒めるように。
With headphones on? It's like someone's talking like right on my
光は
shoulder.
嘆いた。その静寂に守られた囲いをこじ開けるように。幾多、幾千、幾億もの慟哭と安寧。楚々として穏やかで、獅子として育まれる、その獅島は。ぬくもりを貪欲に貪り尽くす、愛がごとく眩しく身を焦がす。花の移ろいのように。私はそれですら由々しきことなのだろう。
I didn't want to interrupt because it's a very dramatic opening, but I'm guessing it's heralding like this isn't going to be mamby-pamby. I mean, I'm sure it'll have its humor, but I'm getting the feel already. It's like, all right, this is gonna be a serious story. Let's buckle down for it. The starting. Okay, whoa, what? Flowchart. There's a flowchart? Oh gosh. Maybe, all right, so maybe this is not so much going to be time travel, but maybe it's going to be like, oh shoot, it's Bakuno, the anime Bakuno. The idea of a story that's being told by jumping through different places in the timeline. So like the first half is full of just a bunch of characters and situations. You're like, I don't know what's happening, but okay. And then like as it pieces together, you suddenly get like backflow, like imagery and understanding of, okay, so this is what's going on and that's what's happening here. So I wonder if that's going to be what happens, is like we're going to be progressing through story by jumping through different like points in time. Maybe not so much as the characters are leaping through time, but our perspective is, and that could be the time travel like element to it. I don't know for sure, obviously, but we're going to be doing it. So start as the zero quickening. So prologue, is that what we just watched? And then Kazuya is new. Like, I kind of want to test this. So click the prologue. Okay. Is that what this is going to be? Yeah, okay. Alright, so, well, now it's going to be playing it. I can't do anything about it. So, we'll wait till this is done, but that is interesting that I can revisit stuff. Maybe that's going to be another mechanic of the game. Ooh, I've never thought of viewing that before, but there's no reason why you couldn't. And so, what if you need to get clues from other parts of the game in order to understand and make the proper decisions to get to the ending, the good endings maybe? I don't know. This is a good important to say that like I typically on these game series do 1 or 2 endings on the channel. Usually I do a blind ending where I just get to the ending I'm going to get, and then I usually go for the true ending. There are a few exceptions, but usually those are limited to very specific cases. So anticipate them being 1 or 2 endings to this series. But if I have to go pursuing more endings, let me know. But I want to make sure people have other things to explore in these games. I don't want to be just showing everything here. Like, I want you to be able to enjoy the ride with me, but I also want you to not be spoiled of everything. Anyway, we'll be right back. Okay, we're back. So, yeah, I'm guessing that as we go, we're gonna see like like the other thing I'm thinking of too is like it's got all these lists with these percentages. I wonder what this is characters. So we follow character stories and we follow them through to the end. So, like I was saying before, I'm not sure how the endings will work on this game. Maybe the true ending will just be going through all the narratives like one at a time, but we'll have to see. So let's start with Kazuya. God, that transition is abrupt. All right, hello.
なんだ
Yeah.
ここは
The entire world is wrapped in darkness. It's like I've been left stranded, standing alone in a world devoid of anything. It's like that kind of place. It suits someone like me who has turned their eyes away from the light.
なんだいつもと同じじゃないか
Interesting. All of my days are devoid of anything. They're monochrome, with not even a hint of color. Yeah, there's not even a sliver of hope.
ああそうさこれは俺が望んだ世界
Okay.
そうまさに俺だけのユートピア困難ばかりの現実世界とはおさらばしてずっとここに
A little dramatic there.
いられればいい
I'm already getting like Okabe vibes, actually. Like, I don't know if it's the voice actor. Like, this couldn't be the same voice actor, could it? I really don't think it is. But it's like, but he sounds similar to Okabe. As I'm thinking this, something hits my cheek. Slowly, without a sound. It's cold. It steals the warmth from my cheek. One, and then another. They keep falling ceaselessly. I'm guessing snowflakes. Snow? That it's no longer just the cold of the falling snow. I notice that even my legs are cold. What's going on? In a panic, I try to move my body, but it won't move, as if I've been carved out of ice. Ooh, that sounds terrible. Where's your sleep paralysis, demon? I immediately begin to feel a skin-piercing cold. Give me a break. Am I going to freeze to death in some northern country or whatever place of extreme cold this is? This can't be reality. In which case, there can only be one answer.
なんだ夢かよ
Don't make assumptions, man. My mood takes a hit. Peace of mind is literally just a dream.
ああ結局またいつもの日常生活が待ってるってことか
Man, he must have a real crappy job. Contrary to my body that won't move, my eyes adjust to the field of view and my field of view begins to widen. There we go. I'm finally awake. This is weird. At any rate, when is my alarm clock going to go off? The shrill sound that always annoys me. Just what time is it? Shouldn't it already be morning? And why is it only my consciousness this clear?
なんだ
Yeah, like, buddy, I'm not sure what's going on, but you probably should be a little more panicked.
何かがいつもと違う
The coldness still hasn't subsided. As soon as I think this, the scene that comes flying into view is clearly something different than normal. Alright, what's this gonna be? Okay, yeah. Well, that explains why you're cold, son.
なんだよこれ
So, it's Kazuya Nanami? It's white, like the world in a picture book that's been colored with a single color of crayon. Everything's pure white. Snow, and more snow is piled up almost to my knees. My surroundings are dark and thick with trees covered in snow. And a sea of trees that give the impression that once you enter, you won't be able to leave again. It's impossible to ascertain anything at a distance with the naked eye. Pure darkness lies an inch before me. And this silence is absolute. For some reason, I'm wearing my school uniform in this freezing place. I've inexplicably been taken to.
どういうことだよ
Yeah,
一体
I wonder too, buddy. As I say this, my breath turns white and my hands go numb. As I rub my body for warmth, I can only think of one thing. Why am I in a place like this? No way. Could someone have brought me here while I was sleeping? No, there's no way that could happen. At the moment, the hand that's been rubbing my body hits something hard, just in case I feel around my uniform pocket. As I thought, my cell phone is there. Anyone's fine. I'll call someone to have them come help me. There's no way this kind of illogical situation is really happening. I go through my contacts, but my fingers are numb and can't press the buttons well. Thereupon, my phone takes it upon itself to call Miu. It seems I hit the wrong button. Miu, huh? Miu seems like she'll probably freak out and panic. Even though I'd like to hang up and call someone else, my fingers will keep acting up. Beggars can't be choosers. I decide I'd just give in and put the phone to my ear. But something strange. Oh no. Even after a few seconds, there's no ringtone. When I glance at the right edge, it says no service there. And my battery's in the red. Oh no, that's really, really not good. Alright, son. Hope you were a Boy Scout, because otherwise you're in real trouble. That means my battery's about to die. Thank you for clarifying. Just my luck. Despair fills my mind and my body is seized by fear. Just then, I suddenly feel someone's gaze. Okay. It's like someone is watching me. Can't be. It's an indescribably creepy feeling. It's really interesting because, like, there's really no, like, credence for it, but that feeling that you're being watched can actually be more right than you think. Like, I don't know if, like, it's just a subconscious thing. Maybe there is something to, like, the interconnectedness of humans, but, like, and I don't know, I swear I read, like, a study that was like, they can't figure out why, but and it's not like it's super consistent, but that more times than not, so skewed in the positive, people who were being observed and didn't realize it seem to recognize that something's off. But again, I'm not sure how credible that was. But I do feel like sometimes there is a difference between just being by yourself and then realizing somebody is watching you. Maybe it's just some kind of beast. The wind sounds like a beast howling to call his friends. I imagine a terrifying scene with my own flesh being devoured. Oh, lovely, son. There's no way. If that were the case, they should have attacked a long time ago. Just as this thought crosses my mind, there's a sound from behind a tree. Overcome by fear, without thinking, I throw the cell phone in my hand at full force at the dead tree. Brilliant! Oh, what a brilliant idea. Snow that was on the branches falls in clumps from the impact. There's no response. I cautiously head towards the tree, step by step. I suppress my fear and peek behind it. Of course there's nothing there. Thank goodness. I let out a sigh of relief. Was that sound just my imagination? No, I wished it were. The only thing there is the cell phone I threw. My flipped open cell phone looks like just a collapsed person. I could eventually end up like this too. Just thinking about it sends a shiver down my spine. I bend down to pick up my cell phone. At the moment my hand touches it, but a strange sound rings out from the phone. Did I press a weird button? Why is this phone, like, possessed? This is disturbing. I check the screen and finally filled with a battery dead symbol. It's useless. I put the cell phone in my pocket. So I took a picture, probably with something standing over my shoulder. What the heck am I supposed to do now? I start thinking again. If I get out of the woods, I might be able to reach some other place. In which case, I need to head forward. Well, in a real survival situation, he's not too far gone. The one advantage snow gives you is tracks. Tracks can be very helpful to help you find help. It also can make it so you're not as likely to go in circles, because of the night sky, if you don't have like the stars or the moon to guide you, which, you know, can be kind of faulty at best, you can easily end up going in circles. The other problem would be, though, is like if people are looking for you, it's better to remain where you are. But you can't know if they're looking for you, especially if you're not even sure where you came here from. Like if your tracks have been buried by the snow, then you really shouldn't be staying in one place, especially because moving can help you burn and like get warmer and keep yourself from freezing. But you're also burning energy, and if you don't have a means of replenishing that energy, you're going to die faster. So, like, it's kind of like the two choices are either strike out for help or build a shelter and just bunker down, at least until the sun's up, because then you can maybe, like, get a good look around, know what direction you're heading, like, you'll learn which direction is east, that kind of thing. But I don't know. It's tough, and I get the feeling that our friend here does not have any scout experience. I need to head forward. That's the only thing I can do. I don't want to throw out even a slim chance. Right now, this is my only option. Only the sound of me vacantly shaking off the snow resounds in the area. How far have I walked? I've even lost my sense of time. The bitterly cold snow scrapes away my energy. The dead trees seem to be advocating death. As if to further increase my fear, the feeling I've had for a while that someone is watching me encroaches upon me stronger and stronger. Someone watching me. I thought I'd determined that it was my imagination. But what the heck? What is this creepiness? No. Enough. I want to get out of here already. Amidst this extreme situation, Ibuki's smiling face suddenly pops into my head. Thinking of Ibuki at a time like this. Why? Maybe it's because whenever I'm suffering so much, I want to run away. Ibuki's always there to support me.
Kazuya, 大丈夫だよ。
That was creepy.
絶対に大丈夫。ね。
Aww.
辛くても諦めないで。私がついているから。
Feels like I can hear her voice from the depths of my memory. I'm deeply in love with Ibuki. That kind of girl who smiles at me. She used to smile a lot. Now she rarely shows it. Ooh. I want to get that smile back, but there's nothing I can do. Just stand there in a daze. Does she accept me, the boy who's lost his dream? Knowing the answer to that is terrifying. While I'm thinking this, Ray's face pops into my head this time.
前だけを見て歩け。ネガティブな思考は捨てろ。
Well, Ray sounds like a go-getter.
まだお前は生きてるんだぞ。
If Ray was beside me, even in the hopeless situation, he'd probably pat me on the back and say that in a cheerful voice. If it were Miu... Oh boy. She sounds adorable. She'd probably go with something like that. Ibuki, Ray, Miu. Their three faces float through my head. But why am I thinking of my friends at a time like this? It's strange even to me. My mom and dad's faces should be showing themselves. Well, I guess you could say it's obvious that their faces don't appear. My dad's whereabouts are unknown, and I've only seen him in photographs. And my mother is abroad on business and never comes home. Well, this is a little bit typical. But, you know, if high school kids weren't left all by themselves, they couldn't get into such crazy shenanigans. Their parents would put a stop to it, right? I wouldn't expect to remember them at a time like this. I've spent much, much more time with those three. That's why. But not long ago, I was happy being alone. I wanted to be by myself. I wished for that. The exhaustion, cold, and fear assault me ceaselessly. I ignore them as best I can, looking forward and earnestly continue on. Then, I spot some kind of depression in front of me. Oh. Oh no. Are these his footprints? I crouch down and take a look. These are human. They are, aren't they? I feel like I've found some hope. Before I realize I'm spontaneously running as if I'm chasing the footprints. I'm not wearing my brace right now. I anticipate sharp pain and immediately put my hands on my knee. Fetch! Okay, is this supposed to be about me? Because I'm not sure whether you know or not, but when I was in 9th grade, I had a pretty horrific bike accident where I shattered my knee joint. Most people would tear a tendon in their knee. I had a part of my bone where the tendons attached to my knee break away. I had to have reconstructive surgery, and I had to be on crutches for 9 months and then experience 6 months of really, really intense physical therapy so I could walk again. I'm really grateful I did, but now my knee is horrifically aftershocked. I pretty much already have arthritis in it, and I had to steer clear of sports like skiing, ice skating, anything that can easily have my leg going in odd directions. And I need to be careful doing pretty much anything else. I'm grateful that I'm as healthy as I am, but it's terrifying. And I actually have a brace for when I'm going into something more sketchy or questionable, just to try and give me a little bit more hope that I won't accidentally re-break my knee or re-tear a tendon. Because I later tore a tendon because of the delicacy of my knee after that surgery, and so re-injury is just super easy for me. But strangely, I don't feel any pain. In order to not erase the footsteps, I run directly beside them. Weird. Normally, it wouldn't. It would hurt, and I wouldn't be able to run. But I'm not concerned with such questions at the moment. Right now, following these footsteps takes priority. It feels like I've been running for a long time, but there's absolutely no indication of going to find anyone. I pant and breathe heavy. My stamina has dropped quite a bit. I can really feel the effects of my lack of exercise since quitting soccer. Oh man, so he used to be really active, and then he had to pull back likely from his injury. Oddly, I did play in... Sorry, I was playing with dice. I did play sports after my injury, but I had to be careful. I played lacrosse. So, but I totally get the not being in shape thing. That's like the definition of my life. It doesn't help that I have asthma, which has always made it difficult to be physically active, and so every time I do, it's like really painful. I didn't think running in the snow would be this difficult. Oh, are you kidding me? Running in the snow is way worse than running normally. First of all, you have to pick up your feet if it's that deeper than a few inches. Secondly, it's so freaking cold. It makes it so much harder for you to work, like, your lungs. My feet get stuck in the snow with each step, so it's sucking extra stamina away. But how much further do these footprints go? After walking a few steps, I decided to check ahead. So he ran for a bit and then started walking and then checks. I don't know. I'll be checking what direction these shoes prints are going in, man. I look into the distance. I've got a bad feeling. It's dark and I can't see well, but I get the feeling the footprints end not far ahead. How? I head closer in a fluster and look. As expected, nothing. They cleanly disappear a little ahead. Cold sweat runs slowly down my back. Why aren't there any... That's ridiculous. Something that ridiculous can't be true. I look at every conceivable place around, but there aren't any footprints. So if he has followed them, like the footprints are like moving ahead, he can see like the shoe imprint or whatever, and he's following them rather than like doubling back on himself, and they just literally vanish, that would be kind of terrifying. Because it's like, it's not like they got buried, they're just gone. Were the tracks I've been seeing just an illusion? Another thread of hope has been cut. My head drops. The fear I'd forgotten slowly starts returning. I lift a leg to run away from the attacking fear. And at that moment, my field of vision inverts. What the fetch is happening to you? My leg is trapped in the snow and I fall sideways with a force. My body's buried in the snow and the cold tightens its grasp on me. To die alone like this, feeling cold and lonely? I didn't want that.
俺が願ったからか。
Oh dear.
一人でいたいって願ったからこうなったのかよ。
Nothing will change by yelling. I know that. I know that, but in anger and despair are simmering over. I don't even have the energy to walk anymore. While I've been doing this, the snow has continued to fall. My body heat and life, too, fall into tandem. Is it going to take them both from me? Ooh. I want to hurry up and go home. I want to go home and return my old life. Seriously, when exactly did I get lost in this story's world? I don't have any memory of becoming the main character. Frustrated and bitter, I bite my lip.
主人公。
I try saying it out loud. Strange, a smile comes to my lips. Me and the main character. Well, you kinda are. It's getting a little meta. I'm not suited for it at all.
でもお前は憧れてただろ。
Now he's hearing himself in his head. That's not a good sign. This time I'm talking to myself.
いつまでも主人公のままでいたかったじゃないか。
I mean, yeah. But the thing is, like, we always forget, like, the hardships that lead to main characters becoming main characters, you know?
夢だけを追う人生が最高に輝いていてかっこいいってそう思っていたよな。
Yeah, I thought that. But
自分の夢を叶えたい。いや、叶えられるだけの才能がある。
ooh.
なんて、いつも自信満々だったな。
That's optimistic, but you also have to remember realities there too. Like, I mean, I have a dream of being a YouTuber. I'd love to make this a job. I'm doing what I can, but like, I also understand that like a lot of people want to be YouTubers and not everyone gets to be. So, you know, you do your best, you push forward and you try anyway. but you shouldn't expect your dreams just to happen, especially if it sounds like he just likes to dream about his dreams rather than actually taking much effort to them. He talks about how he didn't do anything with his life and how he gave up on his dreams. Probably of soccer, but still. Shut up. Just be quiet already.
みんなと同じレールには乗りたくない。自分は人とは違う。
Oof. This is getting really sad now and very, very real.
そして人とは違う才能を持つ自分はみんなから羨望の目で見られて当然だ。
Sounds like he suffers from pride.
そうも思ってはいなかったか？
That's not true. I did it for myself. I worked hard for my own sake.
でも結局お前は夢を失った。お前が意味嫌ったそこら辺にいる凡人と何ら変わりない。
I mean, is this not true for all of us? I mean, really? We like to be altruistic, and I like to sound like I'm altruistic, but don't we all want to be special? Somebody who does something that people are envious of, people who want that we can make a mark on the world. That was always my dream. I didn't really care what I did. I just wanted to leave behind some kind of legacy. My ideal was I wanted to leave a legacy in science. I wanted to get into physics. I wanted to study. I wanted to specialize either in astrophysics or particle physics, and I wanted to help unravel the mysteries of the universe. I wanted to make a discovery, something that could be written down in textbooks. Maybe my name would hardly be mentioned, but the fact that I could leave an imprint like that was always my dream. To leave something behind so that when I die, I have some kind of legacy. And I think I will have that in some ways, but probably not the ways I assumed. I mean, my life's already taken dramatic turns away from what I thought it was going to be. I'm not unhappy though. That's the thing. My life has become really good. I'm really happy with who I am, where I am, and what's happened. But there is a part of me that does kind of get sad because what I always envisioned wanting to do and what I always envisioned wanting to be is slowly slipping away from me. And whilst I do hope to go back to school and get an education, I already know that I'm not willing to make the sacrifice that it would take for me to get what I wanted initially. Too many important things have happened in my life that are too big, that are too much core to who I am to give up. And so giving up the dream in place of a new dream. But that's the thing, is I'm lucky enough to have a new dream. I kind of have a good direction to go in. I know it brings me joy because I've already started it. This YouTube channel is a part of it, actually. I'm so happy making videos. Even if this channel never grew another subscriber from here on out, I'd still be very happy with what I have now. But there's that part of you that always wants more. And there's that part of you that always thinks that you should be able to get better. And there's a part of me that tells me that if I'm not getting what I want, that it's because I'm a failure. And that's not true. But it's also, is it bad to want to be better and to try and strive for greater? But then if that runs unchecked, do I lose the essence of who I am in favor of some kind of dream that seems to override it because I feel like I should have it? I don't know. Kazuya is being forced to face this really directly. And it's interesting to see him wrestle with this because I don't know about you, but I absolutely wrestle with thoughts like this.
お前は主人公でも何でもないぜ。
I definitely know I'm not. I'm definitely not.
ただの脳なしの凡人だ。
Shut up. You don't have to tell me that. I know it better than anyone. The faces of everyone from the soccer club float in my mind. All those guys who used to look at me with expectation and envy. Now they'd give me whose dreams have been broken, smiles laced with scorn. That's how humans are. Someone's voice echoes in my head. My head hurts terribly. My head is throbbing like it's going to split open. Ow. Stop it. Enough. That's when it happens. I get the feeling that I can faintly hear someone's voice in my ear. Now that music was really good, and I really don't like how it got cut off like that. It's so, whenever you have abrupt song cuts without even a down trail, it's jarring. I listen intently so I can hear it. What the heck? There's no doubt. That faint sound seems to be singing. It's small and weak. It seems like it might disappear at any moment. No way. If I can hear singing, that must mean someone is nearby. I let out a sigh of relief. I turned my ear toward the direction of the singing again. The singing is so beautiful, it leaves me at a loss for words. It's a sound that seems like it could save me, who succumbed to loneliness and caused a welling up of sorrow. What is this? Somewhere. I feel like I've heard this before. Somewhere. I want to hear more. More and more. More closer. Ooh, what's that? In the moment, I start running as fast as I can in the direction I hear the song. Along the way, I get caught in the snow and fall 2 or 3 times, but somehow I pick myself back up again. As I run closer, the singing I hear gets louder. At this distance, the voice's origin should be through a gap in the forest. I can faintly see an emerald green. There's a lake in the forest like this, and it's not frozen. The voice seems to be coming from there. I run out of the forest in a single burst of speed. Oh boy. YouTube, forgive us! This is interesting. It's a dream within a dream. It's like I've slipped into a dream 1 level deeper. It's an extraordinary space that shouldn't exist. The air within is different. The scenery is of some other country, like a world I've never seen. And in that place, on the bank of the pale blue lake, stands a lone girl. My heart skips a beat. I can tell my cheeks are immediately start burning. Her skin is white. Her body lines are smooth. Her hair is beautiful emerald green. The moonlight shines on it, and it glitters and changes color every time it sways. It sounds like she's like a fae or something. I can't see her face, but the air about her is that of beauty no human can possess. The full moon faintly shines on the surface of the water. It stands with the moon and continues to sing. She stands with the moon and continues to sing. She signs, singing in the spotlight of the moon. She's wearing a single piece of cloth. However, the stars that adorn the entire sky turn to natural diamonds, appearing to adorn her. It's like she's wearing a dress of starry sky. The pure white snow mixes into the scenery as well. The snow that reflects the moonlight shines and sparkles as it falls. It's kind of magical. She continues to sing without noticing me. I just stand there dumbfounded. Her singing voice is clear. No professional singer could compete. It's a voice that sounds like it has the power to purify people and hearts. It's like my heart is being washed and becoming serene. This is probably what you call being captivated. Before I realize it, I'm walking toward the bank of the lake where she is. I dip my foot in the cold water, but I'm not concerned about things like that anymore. That should be a warning sign! It's like I'm being pulled in by that sorrowful melody and her strange charm. An invisible thread has ensnared me and won't let go. Step by step. Oh, your feet are gonna be so cold. As I get closer, her figure from behind grows larger in my eyes. With just that, the fear, unease, cold, and everything are blown away. I'm so close I'll reach her in one more step. My view is suddenly obstructed by the snow. When the wind stops, she vanished from sight for some reason. I can no longer hear that song either. Then, the sound of water droplet falling reaches my ears. What the? Okay. YouTube, please forgive this, but this is interesting. I quickly turn around and she's standing there. I gulp without thinking. She's so beautiful that it's not fitting to call her human. That somehow inhuman, unbelievable beauty causes me fear.
久しいな、Kazuya.
Okay, what?
会いたかった。
Okay, hi. Then she whispers that. I didn't mishear her. She said Kazuya. I'm surprised I can't speak. Why does she know my name? This is the first time we've met, but...
ずいぶん醜い姿に変わってしまっただろう。
Oh, that we call it these days.
醜い心。
Huh.
醜い感情。私の醜さが歌を汚してしまったのだ。
Okay, she's definitely not human.
暖かな時に包まれたあの美しい歌。 それがパラパラと散り去っていったのも。
After that, a stream of tears starts to flow. Again, my heart pounds loudly.
あの日の思い出も、この歌でさえも、涙色に染まり、枯れてゆくだけ。
Holy crap, this is sad. She's crying. I can't get a grasp on the situation.
そんな恐怖の中、どれほどの時が過ぎようとも、毎日少しずつ。
Curse my hand for clicking. I'm sorry, I interrupted her.
目の前のもの、すべてが色あせてゆくのだ。そう。私自身も。
What the heck is she saying? And why? Is she crying? Those tears are like jewels. The pearls. They shine like diamonds as they fall.
だが、私はもう一度、こうして立っているのだ。あの時、暗闇から私を救い出してくれたお前と。
Can't understand what she's talking about. Why does she know my name? And what was that song? I have no clue. But when she stares at me, it strangely feels like magic has been cast on me, and I lower my head deeply. Seeing that, she seems relieved and continues.
もがけばもがくほど深みにはまり、何度も泥を飲み、生きた。入り日に赤く照らされた空も、月影清らかな夜も、星屑散るこの世界も、何も知らず。ただ一つの運命で紡がれた檻の中で、鍵を渡してくれたのは、お前だったな。
What on earth is she talking about? Like I thought, I have no idea what she's talking about. All right, I'm glad to see the Kazuya and I. We're bonding, we're jiving. We both are on the same page here. She was saved from inside a cage by me. Her clear eyes hold me and won't let go, as if they will reflect only me. Her tears also seem to have dried up.
でも、私は気づいてしまったのだ。
What?
囲いから出られても、心の蓋はどこにも見つからなかった。人間の心など、重ね合わせた手のひらに過ぎない。
Okay.
どれだけのものを注ごうとも、指の隙間からこぼれ落ちてしまう。
So she described herself having a human heart. So maybe she is human, but like there's just something super not human about her, right? Like I'm not the only one thinking that.
とどまらず、さらさらと、最後は空っぽになってしまうのだ。あの歌も、お前が注いでくれたたくさんの光も、流れ落ちるばっかりだ。ずるいじゃないか。余剰になってしまうだなんて。
Her eyes get moist again, and as if to go along with it, her lips close tightly. She's frail, like she's break if I touched her with my hand. Is that kind of ethereal expression? The person who caused her to feel this way was me? Or was it someone else? I don't know what's going on, but for some reason, a sorrow that feels like it's constricting my chest wells up in my heart.
お前も混乱しているのだな。
Unfortunately, yes.
じきに思い出すだろう。
Oh no.
それまで、私は待とうではないか。和也。
She laughs as if she were joking, but that expression is frail and sad. That expression, I don't want to see it. For some reason, feelings of sadness are swirling around inside my heart. I force my voice out. I stumble a few times, but it finally comes out.
俺は一体何が何だかわからないんだ。どうして君は俺の名前を知ってるんだ。
She's silent for an unfathomable reason. She stands there and stares at my dumbfounded self.
ここはどこで？一体君は誰なんだ？
まだよくわかっていないのは無理もない。
Oh, I'm sure she's still disappointed.
久しぶりなのだから。でも、もう私は十分に待ったのだぞ。
Right. Tears form in her eyes again. I really don't know what's going on. Why are her eyes tearing up? I want to know the reason. I do
よく
too,
わから
dang
な
it.
い。もう少し、ちゃんと教えてくれないか。
I stare back at her seriously.
そうだ。ここを覚えているか、和也。
I look around. I definitely don't recognize it at all. There's no way I would have visited this sea of trees before.
知らない。
I answer her honestly.
そうか。
She nods sadly.
ほら、この丘はあの日も、雪化粧を身にまとい、見事なものだった。
That day, this place, I've been here before. I can't recall it, no matter how much I search my memory.
そう。ちょうどこんな風に、紫君が顔を出していた。
She points at a nearby wildflower that's blooming and says this. This is the first spark of life I've seen barge into the world. I feel like this vivid purple somehow suits her really well.
目に留めてくれる人だって、いやしないのに。
How is it blooming? I don't know the name of this flower. I swear I've seen it before, or something similar to it. I mean, it might be a pansy, like a type of pansy. Most pansies I see are really, really small flowers, but they have petals that look fairly similar to that, and I do know that purple and white is like a typical pansy color. The small purple flower that I've seen any number of times. Seems like she doesn't know its name either.
私は、雪の日にこの紫君を見ていると、心が癒されるのだ。
She says this. It's true, I feel like just looking at the flowers giving me energy to keep going too. Even such a small flower is dauntlessly doing its best.
寒空の下で頑張ってるのか。雪にも負けずに。
何を言っているんだ、和也は。
She knits her brow a little.
和也の目に、この花の表情はどう映る？
表情？
そうだ。この花は笑っているだろう。まったく幸せそうじゃないか。
She shows me a relieved expression for the first time. It's a very cheerful expression. I feel a little better seeing it. Why am I this relieved? I don't even know.
この紫君はいつだって白銀の世界に守られ生きているのだ。
Her expression is that of someone having a sweet dream. For just this moment, this mystical girl seems like a normal daydreaming girl. I don't understand this place, her, the flower, or anything.
この花がどうしたって？
I ask her. Her face distorts.
そのことも忘れてしまったのか。
Listen,
和也は。
Listen, I want to know, and I'm sure Kazuya wants to know with all his heart what the heck is happening here, but at least he's being honest. She gives a self-depreciating laugh and then suddenly turns serious. Her eyes are sharp, unlike those of a few moments ago. It seems I've made her angry. Did I ask something I shouldn't have?
ごめん。何か悪いこと言ったかな。
I apologize, but she remains silent. There are scars that you don't want anyone to touch. Maybe my previous question touched on hers. Silence returns to the forest. This momentary lull feels like hours. She slowly opens her mouth without averting her gaze from me.
そう。私が紫君に戻れるのはいつなのだ？
So.
え？
Aww. After calling me so, her face suddenly draws closer and she embraces me tightly. I'm embarrassed, and I can't tell if I'm sweating from nervousness. The inside of my head is white. I can't understand why it turned out like this. My heart feels like it's going to burst, but her embrace is strangely comfortable. Am I wrapping her as I'm wrapped in her arms and close my eyes? Ibuki's smile suddenly passes through my mind again. Ibuki. Why am I doing... What am I doing with some girl I don't know? My heart gradually fills with guilt. The one I love is only Ibuki. I've always loved her, haven't I? I'm not the kind of man who can do this with just anyone. I shouldn't be doing this. In an attempt to shake off the arms that are embracing me, I put strength into both hands and clench my fists. I put all the strength of my body into it. My body won't listen to what I tell it. It's like I've been paralyzed. What the heck is going on? What is this? I'm concerned about what I'm doing. This time she looks up at me, up at the night sky and speaks.
見ろ。この夜空に輝く星たちを。
God, I feel like you're gonna really regret if you're not paying attention here, boy. Go on.
これもお前の運命。
Uh-oh.
そして、皮肉な運命からは逃れられない。
Okay.
だが、終わらせようじゃないか。
Okay, what do you mean end it? End what? As she goes on about things I don't understand again, her face gets gradually closer to mine until eventually our lips touch. Fetch, man! For a moment, I don't know what's happening. Before I realize it, her face is in front of my eyes. It's like I'm watching it in slow motion. You wouldn't imagine it from her cold skin, but her lips are soft and warm. Her high-bridged nose brushes my face and tickles me. Amidst my hazy consciousness, only her nostalgic sweet scent hangs in the air. Nostalgic? The moment I sense that enchanting sweet scent, my mind becomes clear for some reason. This is something that ever happened to me. Like, I mentioned it so many times because it comes up like this, but it's like, memories are funny. Even if he's not having this weird amnesia thing, he legitimately might just be burying it due to pain or just time distance. I don't know. Most likely there's a lot of pain here, I'm guessing. But I remember I was out with a friend and we passed by a Dairy Queen. They do some of their sites. Dairy Queen's a ice cream chain. And sometimes they have a site that specializes in something called an Orange Julius, which is kind of like a frost shake that's orange flavored. They like think shaved ice, but very finely shaved to the point where you can drink it with a straw. And it's like flavored with orange. It's kind of a classic. I think it's a treat that came about like in the 1920s or something. And I remember seeing one. I was like, oh, I've never had an Orange Julius before. I'll go grab one. And my friend turned to me and she's like, what are you talking about? We used to have them all the time. This was a friend of mine that I'd had since I was like 4 or 5 years old. We grew up in the same neighborhood. I was like, what are you talking about? I don't even know what this is. She's like, yes, you do. I made them for you myself when we were kids. And she's like, here, come on, get one. So I got one and I tasted it, and with it came a flood of memories. Now, it's what's interesting is like your senses, and specifically like your nose and your mouth, they tend to have memories and activate memories powerfully. I don't know why. Like I'm sure there's reasons, but like it's absolutely true. Like sometimes if you like walk into a home and someone's making a recipe, like an old favorite recipe, like your mom making cookies or something, you'll get that smell, whatever it is, and you'll just get blasted with memories. It was like that, but on like intensity I'd never experienced before. It was almost like watching a slideshow in my head in the flicker of a second of all these childhood memories that I just kind of forgotten for a while. It was amazing. So I totally believe 100% that like something about this scenario can awaken these memories at least a little bit better. Like a fog had been lifted. That's right. This scene of kissing her, I know it. For some reason, for a moment, I get the sensation I'm seeing things objectively. Even Ibuki has completely left my thoughts. The name So. The small purple flower. Why? I know them. This beautiful girl and that song, even the scene looks familiar. It's like the depths of my memory are being tickled, like someone else's consciousness is mixed in and merging with mine. That's right, her and I, we kissed like this. I remember. How could I forget? Since long, long ago, I've known you. Yes, your name is... Wow. Those
彼
are
女が
petals.
接吻していた唇を離すと、同時にブワッと吹雪が舞った。
Why is he speaking his mind thoughts now? I've been doing that. Why have you taken my job from me?
その瞬間、すっと霧のように彼女は消えた。
Oh, man.
待てと腕をつかむ隙もないだなんて。相変わらずだ。さよならじゃなくて。またね。
See you again.
青の湖に浮かぶ彼女はもういない。彼女が呼んだ名前。二文字の名前。記憶の片隅に埋まり込んだ二文字。
So?
懐かしい。ひどく懐かしい。
Oh, man.
その妙な懐かしさは、俺の血液をめぐって全身をほてらせた。美しい花君。俺が送ったあなたへの三文字を。
So he named her after a flower?
嬉しいのか悲しいのか、いろんな感情が入り混じり、俺の表情はおかしなことになっていただろう。おまけに目には大粒の涙が溜まっている。
Oh, man. Oh, this is gonna be heartbreaking, isn't it?
そんな中、彼女に許してしまった唇だけがカッと熱を帯び、妙な現実味を残していた。置き土産に本当に大変なものを残してってくれるんだな。花びらがひらひらと舞っている。
Wow, what the fetch?
舞い散る桜のように、彼女が紫君と呼んだ花が、あの時の花が、ああ、ごめんな。彼女の姿を探す俺の瞳には、どんな名画も負けるであろう。それは美しい。白と紫の共演が映るだけだった。
So he was so obsessed with like trying to figure out where she'd gone with the flush of memories. He missed the whole point that purple petals and snow blizzarding together would look amazing, which I agree.
あの雪が降る。美しき今日に誓った永遠の約束は、古の時を超えて、また、蘇る。それは、この景色のように色鮮やかに、そして鮮明に、移ろいゆく景色とともに。そう。この記憶は、これから始まる壮大な物語の、ほんの一かけらに過ぎなかった。
Interesting. So we're gonna be patchworking this story? Maybe I thought at Bakano, it's gonna be jumping around the timeline, maybe? Well, color me intrigued. I think I'm sold on this. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm already captivated. That alone, like what a hook. Like, it's so intriguing. It's so interesting. I can't even express how, like, holy crappy that was. Like, I really hope it can deliver, because it's really selling itself really good right now. But I am super excited about this. Ooh, that mystery, the intrigue, the character. He's like so real, and it's like, oh man, I have no idea what to expect here. But oh boy, yeah, I wonder. I really wonder. I saw in that video even they had signs like the Greek letters for alpha, beta, and delta. So making me wonder too, like, is this going to actually be taking Steins Gate notes and doing like world lines or something? I'm not sure, but we'll have to figure that out next time. So thank you guys so much for being here today. Fats, thank you so much for being a part of the channel. It's really nice to be able to start this off right. And so thank you so much. And again, big thank you to the patrons. They're helping make the channel more customized and more friendly and more just building it up and helping support it. Thank you guys so much for all your support. It really means a lot to me, and I hope I make it up to you. Keep in mind, patrons get access to that patron cast, a special podcast just for you, where you can ask me direct questions. I can directly answer them, and they get to vote on which games we play, and they're the ones that actually selected this game. So thank you so much for picking this. This is freaking great. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and let's dive into it, and we'll see what happens next time. But yeah, I have no idea. This is showing just a menu. So I don't know exactly what's supposed to happen exactly, but I guess I think what it does is we unlock stuff and we go back into it. So I'm going to figure all that out next time, get the sound stuff figured out next time. But I'm super, super excited to be able to jump into this fully. So thank you again for everything you've done. Let me know in the comments what you thought. Is this a good start? Like, are you excited to find out? You're going to be looking into this yourself and trying to explore it ahead of me? Because, you know, I do plod along, but that's the way it goes. I guess, what are your first impressions? I want to hear what you thought as well. So thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me on the channel. Thank you again, Fruitbat Factory, for this fantastic addition to the channel. I can't wait to get through it. But until the next video, watch with me, I hope to see me in next. I'll see you there.